Acknowledge me.
Test. Test.
Yeah.
Welcome back to another episode of the Dope Sports Podcast, brought to you by dopecontent.com and brought to you by Get the Tables on Twitter, on Twitch. Make sure you follow them.
Yeah.
What's good? How's everybody doing? Appreciate you joining. I see that Stream Elements chat don't want to work right now. Bashida, what's good? Make sure y'all follow Bashida, and he's coming through with another sub. Shout out to Bashida for the sub.
Let's go.
44 months for Bashida, man.
Yeah.
One of my OGs, one of my mods on here. Make sure you follow him on Twitch. Make sure you follow him on all social media platforms as well. What's good, man? How you doing? Appreciate you coming through. If you're on YouTube, please like the video. Is all we ask for. It's real easy to do. It's free to do. It's simple. We got some stuff to get into. We got the Super Bowl. Get into Super Bowl recap. We got NBA trade deadline recap, and then we're gonna preview the NBA All-Star weekend. What are you expecting? You think it's gonna be a good weekend? Dunk contest is probably always, it's been bad lately, but do you expect a good one with Jaylen Brown being in it and etc. And yeah, we just gonna get into all that. So let's play the intro. That's what's up. He said he's sitting there enjoying the show. Before we play the intro, Tony, how's your day going? How's everything going with you?
Going well. Thanks for asking. Yourself?
Doing good, man. The weather is, it's Texas. It's just,
yeah, man.
It's ridiculous.
70s yesterday, 40s today. What's going on, man?
Yeah, it was 40 and raining today. I think it stopped raining though, so hopefully it did. We'll see. But speaking of, you're in San Antonio, right?
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of San Antonio, remember I told you about the Melina thing? We were supposed to go to the Melina, her federation, UWW, in February. And I told you she followed up.
Right.
She did. So she followed up. She emailed me and she said that, she just wanted to make sure if I still wanted to come. I told her, yeah. And I told her, get us tickets. She asked how many tickets. I told her enough for me and you. And she said, okay, the company, UWW, should be sending you some tickets very soon. I never got the tickets. And then I checked to see what the date was. The date has already passed. I was like, well, okay.
I guess you got lost in the mail.
I guess so. I was like, I never got the tickets, but I don't know who to blame there, Melina or who's ever doing the tickets for UWW. I don't know, but Melina, if you see this clip, I never got the tickets. But maybe next time when they come back to Texas, we'll see. But what up, Don? Appreciate you joining. Let's play this intro. Let's get right into it. NFL, Super Bowl, NBA talk. Let's go. We are back once again. Got a lot to get into. Yes, sir, Don. Got a lot to get into. If you're on YouTube, please like the video. It's free to do. Feel free to blow up that comment section if you're on YouTube as well. We do reply back on YouTube, even though the comments don't always show on the screen for whatever reason with YouTube. But we do, read your comments, and we do all of that on YouTube as well. So shout out to the Twitch heads. Y'all already know what it is. He said, let's not lie. He already started. Let's not lie. San Francisco dropped the ball and choked at the end. Congrats to the Chiefs, but it's irritating to have another dynasty. I don't mind it. I don't mind the Chiefs being good. But let's get right into it since we already got the comments coming in hot. The Chiefs take out the 49ers 25-22 in the Super Bowl in overtime, with the Chiefs scoring a touchdown after the 49ers took the ball first and decided to kick. Well, they decided to take the ball first because they didn't know the rules. And then they end up kicking the field goal, which they had a touchdown before that, but we'll get into that because I know you're going to rant about that. So I'll wait before we, describe that touchdown that they missed in overtime. Brock Purdy, 23 of 38, 255 yards, 1 touchdown. Patrick Mahomes, 34 of 46, 333 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Christian McCaffrey, 22 carries, 80 yards on the ground, no touchdowns. Patrick Mahomes led the Chiefs with 66 yards rushing on 9 carries. Pacheco had 18 carries, 59 yards. Christian McCaffrey also led the 49ers in receiving yards with 80 yards, 1 touchdown on 8 catches. Travis Kelce, 9 catches, 93 yards. McCole Hartman, 3 catches, 57 yards, including that touchdown in overtime to win the game. Rashee Rice had 6 catches, but only 39 yards. Deebo Samuel, 3 catches, 33 yards. Brandon Ayuk, 3 catches and 49 yards. Very good game, very entertaining game. Defensive game. That was, it looked like it was going to be real low scoring in that first half, but second half they started to pick it up. Fred Warner led the team in tackles with 13 for the 49ers, and Nick Bolton led the team in tackles with 13 for the Chiefs. Your thoughts?
I agree with Bushida. I don't necessarily they choked, but they definitely blew a big opportunity several times throughout that game to really kind of take control of that game. Some blunders by the Niners that we hadn't seen all year. I'm not sure how many fumbles McCaffrey had all year, but he fumbles on the opening drive when they're driving down the field. They fumble it. The Niners defense, I thought, played a pretty good game overall. The score, I think, kind of deceives you a little bit. They scored 25 points, but overall, I think, the Niners played pretty good. They lose Greenlaw on that freak injury.
That was crazy.
With the Achilles, which was crazy. They're down one of their best linebackers, and he's been a big part of that team as well. And they were still able to kind of control the game. At halftime, the Niners were winning. And it seemingly looked like the Niners were in control of the game. And in the second half came out. Chiefs get the ball first. They throw a pick. Mm-hmm. And what did the Niners do? They punt the ball. The Chiefs get the ball back. What happens? The Niners punt the ball. They just couldn't take advantage of the opportunities that were given to them by the Chiefs to kind of take control of the game, to kind of, kill the Chiefs, if you want to say, because there was many opportunities where the Niners could have taken control of the game and they couldn't get anything going. Props on the Chiefs defense. We've been talking about their defense all year, or all playoffs, how good they are. We saw what they did against the Ravens, and they continue to play very, very well against the Niners as well. I feel bad for McCaffrey because he seemingly was the only one that was doing anything for the Niners. It looked like Purdy laid some bets of his own and was just giving the ball to McCaffrey and wasn't spreading the ball anywhere else. Kittle was a disappearing act. I don't even know how many catches that man had. Ayuk didn't do well. Deebo didn't do well either. And then you could give props to the Chiefs defense, but you also have to give some criticism to Mr. Brock Perfect Purdy that everybody was labeling a superstar all year. I remember that when Orlovsky was naming him a top 5 quarterback, and he's better than this guy, and he's better than that guy. But if I'm not mistaken, the first guy that threw the touchdown pass in the Super Bowl was a wide receiver.
God damn.
Wasn't even a quarterback. I mean, what is going on?
It was a trick play. What's wrong with that? That's a top 5 defense
awesome.
they're playing.
Yeah, hey, kudos to them for getting a trick play to work in the Super Bowl and scoring off of it. But you cannot tell me that Purdy played a good game, because he didn't. He had 1 touchdown pass. Congratulations, Purdy. The rest of the game, you were mediocre at best. A lot of dump downs to McCaffrey. McCaffrey was the workhorse. He said 22 carries. 22 carries for McCaffrey. 3 catches, I believe, for Ayuk, their best wide receiver on that team.
Three for Debo as well.
How many did Kittle have?
Shoot, he down the list. 2 catches for 4 yards.
Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah, Mr. I'm gonna get revenge on the Chiefs. I'll be back here with vengeance. Yeah.
You know, yes, Jennings was probably the best player on that field other than McCaffrey.
4 catches, 42 yards for Jennings.
Offensively. You know, he was getting open. I think obviously the Chiefs were more concerned about Debo and Ayuk and Kittle, and was like, we'll let Jennings get his own. He did throw the touchdown pass on that trick play to, I believe, McCaffrey. I believe caught the ball and ran it for a touchdown. The Niners didn't capitalize on the opportunities that were given to them. And why the fuck, excuse my language, would you go first against the Chiefs?
They don't know the rules.
Out of all the people to have the ball last, when he knows what he has to do to win a game, you go and give it to Mahomes. That's like giving it to Michael Jordan down 10 seconds and just letting him do whatever he wants, because that's exactly what they did. Mahomes knew what he had to do, and he got the job done, and they won. And I mean, the play that they scored the touchdown on, Hardman was wide open. So the Niners defense was probably gassed. They're probably tired, and they just couldn't do the job when it needed be. I just can't believe that the Niners couldn't capitalize on the opportunities given to them by the Chiefs, because the Chiefs were not playing well at the beginning. You know, Mahomes throws a pick. They get him to punt the ball several drives where the Chiefs offense just looked lost, and they couldn't do anything. So you get Steve Wilkes loses his job for it. the scapegoat for the Niners,
which is trash.
The defensive coordinator gets fired,
which is trash.
Saying McDaniels is saying that right? Josh McDaniels, that's his name, right? No,
coach.
Yes,
Shanahan.
Why am I thinking Josh McDaniels? Shanahan, excuse me, saying that they weren't on the same page and blah blah blah. Well, yeah, you say that now after you lose the Super Bowl. It's funny how that happens, but give me a break with that bullshit. The Niners defense was what kept you in the game,
right?
I mean, for God's sakes, it was giving you opportunities to win the game, and your offense couldn't do shit.
Even
and
with
you're gonna blame that on the defense,
even with Greenlaw getting hurt,
right?
Yeah.
So give me a break with that BS. That's all. This is scapegoat there. Congrats to the Chiefs. We talked about it on last show that we felt like they were gonna win the game. It was just destined to see that they were gonna win. They beat Buffalo. They beat the Ravens. You just kind of felt like they were gonna go in and beat the Niners, and they did. Props. Mahomes, he's marking himself as one of the greatest of all time. I wouldn't put him there yet. I wouldn't label him there yet, but he's definitely in the conversation.
2 more years, he'll be there.
I mean,
3 more years.
Props to the Chiefs. They went out there and showed everybody why who we thought they were. You know, one of the best teams in the NFL, and the Niners just couldn't capitalize on the mistakes and the opportunities given to them.
Yeah, shout out to Jay Cross, shout out to Rob, shout out to Alice.
Absolutely. Bushido.
Shout out to everybody that's in there in the chat. If you're on YouTube, please like the video. It's free. Click the like button. It's free. Man, first of all, Steve Wilkes losing his job, I think that was BS. They never. I don't think Shanahan really wanted him there from jump anyway. It was just kind of one of those things where they made the move, and then he just kind of dealt with it. But to blame him and fire him after you had a top 5 defense the whole season, and this is not the first time they've done that. They're on 4 out of 5 years they've had different defensive coordinators. So that just seems to be
coordinators doing right now.
Yeah, that just seems to be a Shanahan thing. Is to we do good all year, defense ball out all year, but hey, we lost in the playoffs or we lost in the Super Bowl, so I'm gonna fire the defensive coordinator. And this, I'm like, come on, man. Like I got mixed emotions about Shanahan because people right now, there are fans that are saying Shanahan is the problem, it's his fault, he should be fired. In my mind, I'm like, why would you fire a coach that consistently get to the NFC Championship game and the Super Bowl? No, they're losing it, but they're getting there, right? So why would you fire him? But at the same time, your team don't know the rules, the overtime rules in the Super Bowl. That's your fault, right? You calling timeouts that you didn't need to call because you didn't trust your defensive coordinator. I'm gonna blame you for that. Just let the play go. Yeah. Steve Wilkes has been killing it the whole season. Defense has been killing it the whole season. They killing it the whole game. And then on a big play, you waste the time out because you wanted to talk to Steve Wilkes because you didn't trust the play. You didn't trust the blitz that was called because you always had some type of feelings towards Steve Wilkes from day one, basically. It's just.
I mean, if I told you, like, hey, the Niners are going to hold the Chiefs to 3 points in the first half, you're probably going to say, well, the Niners are going to win that game. More than likely. And they couldn't. The Chiefs scored 10 in the third quarter. The Niners go scoreless. So
is that Steve Wilkes' fault?
It's not. Yeah, it's Steve Wilkes' fault that the offense couldn't capitalize on what the defense gave them.
Right.
I mean, give me a freaking break here. The defense can only do so much against Pat Mahomes. When you're giving them opportunities and opportunities and opportunities, and you're not having long drives, and you're going 4 and out,
right?
What do you want the defense to do when they're out on the field for that long, on those long drives? They're tired, man. They are tired.
Exactly.
And look at these, like the field goal, 15 plays. That's just ridiculous. 9 plays. They're worn out. They're just tired. The field goal to another field goal, 13 plays, 12 plays, 14 plays in overtime. They had the ball for 7 minutes.
Yep.
You're going to tell me the defense wasn't tired by then? Give me a break. You got to throw the defense a bone here, and the offense needs to do their job and score a damn touchdown.
That game should have
ended.
That game should have ended when Pat Mahomes came out and threw that bad interception in the second half.
Right.
They should have capitalized right there and put that game away. They gave it to
you right there.
Right.
Yes. They gave it to them right there. They throw the pick right at a halftime. It was a horrible throw.
Pacheco
and what
lost
did the Niners do? The Niners go 5 plays for 4 yards and approximately a minute.
Yeah, they got 2 turnovers.
That's on the
from
defense.
The Chiefs.
That's the defense's fault. Yeah. So
blame Steve Wilkes. Blame Steve Wilkes for for that, right? They got 2 turnovers from the Chiefs and big drives. The opening drive, Pat Mahomes threw a pick in the second half. Was it the first or second drive in the first half? Pacheco fumbled.
They do that big ass play.
Yeah.
To get down to the red zone, and they fumble the ball.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the defense couldn't have played any better, in my opinion. Just ridiculous.
Yeah, so it is what it is. The Chiefs are Super Bowl champs.
And I'm done hearing the Purdy talk. Don't give me that shit no more. Because Purdy would have won that game. If he was so elite and so good, and he's a superstar, he would have drove them down the field and got a touchdown in overtime. I don't give a shit. Mahomes did it.
It's Pat Mahomes, man.
I don't give an F.
And the Chiefs got.
I don't care.
The Chiefs got a top 8 defense.
The Niners have better offensive talent than the Chiefs, hands down.
Yeah, okay.
they should have been able to score. I'm done hearing Purdy talk. I like the guy, but to label him a top 5 quarterback, I'll take him over Jalen Hurts. I'll take him over this and that. Yeah. Man, you are ridiculous. Yeah. You're trying to be some hot take fucking analyst on ESPN.
Yeah.
And you got proven wrong. Straight up, period. You can't tell me any other quarterback that is a superstar, Jalen Hurts. You know, Josh Allen, he may have thrown a pick. You know, that's the running gag here, right? He would have thrown a pick.
Yep.
But Jalen Hurts would have got them to the end zone.
He would have ran it in.
I mean, exactly. You want to give Purdy all this? Purdy.
Well, you know what? The way Hurts was playing this year, he'll just chunk it up from the 50-yard line and hope somebody catch it.
Who knows? I mean, Purdy sure did use his legs against the Lions. Where was that against the fucking Chiefs?
Yeah, he did.
So I'm done. I don't want to hear nothing of that. I don't want to hear any of that crap. Kittle was a non-factor. They ran the ball. They ran poor McCaffrey to death. Have they ever heard of a play-action pass? May have worked.
And the crazy thing about it, McCaffrey has a very good backer behind him that can help take carries away from him. Elijah Mitchell is a very good running back. Debo didn't get Debo got 3 carries. Hold on, did he get carries? No. Yeah, he got 3 carries for 8 yards. Why you not running Debo? That was a hot thing last year. So what happened to running Debo, right? But
the constant thing they did when I was watching the game was play action pass on first down. I'm sorry, running the ball a lot on first down.
Yeah.
Hey, Shanahan, maybe throwing a play action pass, it might work.
Hey, but you know that's Steve Wilkes' fault.
It might actually work. You know, it may catch the defense off guard. You might even score a touchdown.
Yeah.
Nope, but Jay has kept running McCaffrey to the ground. 22 carries. That's crazy, man. That's just wild.
It's all Steve Wilkes' fault. When you fire Steve Wilkes, fire the defensive coordinator when you hold one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play to 25 points in the Super Bowl.
And 2 picks on top of that.
Well, he had 1 pick. 1.
I thought he had 2.
Nah, he threw a pick and then Pacheco fumbled. That was like 2 turnovers.
Oh, I thought he had 2 picks. My bad. Yeah, there you go.
Nah, he better not win Super Bowl MVP with 2 picks. Like, you know. But yeah, man, shout out to the Chiefs. Doing a thing. I picked them. I said all year that they would at least make the AFC Championship game. Did I expect them to win the Super Bowl? No. I expected them to lose to Baltimore. But Baltimore didn't do their job. After watching the 49ers play the Lions and the Packers, I picked the Chiefs for that reason. I was like, I don't like what I saw from the 49ers because they should have lost both games. But the Chiefs, they played hard. I thought they was going to pull the upset over the Chiefs because that's how it was looking at first. And then I don't know what happened. Brock Purdy, I know you want to kill him. And you know I'm not a fan like that either. But watching the game, he didn't really have a bad game. He didn't have a takeover game. He was what Cam Newton said. He was a game manager. Right? Everybody got mad at Cam for calling him a game manager, but this is what he was in the Super Bowl. He was a game manager. Now in Detroit, against Detroit, he used his legs. He made plays. He was a playmaker that game. This game, he was a game manager. But some of those passes that he missed, I can't really blame him for it like I want to, because every time he missed those wide open passes, like Juwan Jennings on that last play in the overtime, when Jennings, he overthrew it and Jennings was kind of open in the end zone, he also had Brandon Ayuk wide open in the end zone. He beat Brandon Sneed or Ladarius Sneed so bad off the line. Sneed was on the ground, but Purdy couldn't see him because Chris Jones was in his face. And if you look at a lot of those missed throws that was wide open in the end zone, when he overthrew Debo in the end zone, Chris Jones hit him. When he overthrew Jennings, Chris Jones hit him. When he missed Brandon Ayuk in the end zone, Chris Jones hit him. So I got to let him slide a little bit on some of that. He should have used his feet more, in my opinion, like you said. But some of the throws that he did miss, he was getting hit on all those throws. I went back and looked at it because I knew you was going to clown him, so I wanted to play devil's advocate and actually go see what happened and see if I can defend him a little bit. He was getting hit. Offensive line to do their job. Trent Williams got thrown around. Like, I've never seen Trent Williams get thrown around before. Like, it wasn't a great game for the offensive line for the 49ers. So I just let that slide with Brock. I know you're not trying to hear it, but so what do you think the 49ers should do? Because it's almost time to pay him.
I wouldn't pay him. Are you kidding me?
Who you go get?
I mean, I'd pay him, but not like crazy amount of money.
You ain't got no choice.
Yes.
He didn't been a one Super Bowl. 2 NFC championship game, 1 Super Bowl.
The Niners' hands are kind of tied right now. I mean, they're gonna probably have to pay him. Would I be okay with them paying him? I wouldn't, because you can easily find someone else that can probably do the same job, if not better, than Purdy. I'm telling you right now, it's a freaking system, quarterback-friendly system. Seriously. Put Baker back there. Baker would do just as good as Purdy did. You put any quarterback out there that is a quality quarterback, they'll be just fine, honestly. So the Niners have big questions to say. When the opportunity actually has to come and they have to sit down with Purdy and give him either the full contract or whatever have you, you need to think about what's out there at free agency time and who you can get over Purdy. Because it's not like no quarterback is going to want to come play for San Francisco.
Right.
San Francisco is going to be a hot team to go play for with the talent that they have, if they're able to keep everyone they still have. You know, Ayuk is apparently rumored of wanting out and this and that. But
he wants.
The Niners are a very good team. You cannot tell me that quarterbacks are not going to want to go and play for him. So I wouldn't rush to pay him. I know, but like Jeff said, there's like 2 years left until you have to pay him.
Yeah, but look, Jay Cross, if you do it see, the reason I'm talking about it now is because we're not talking about the dumb front office of the Cowboys. Bruh. Only the Cowboys will wait until the very last year to give somebody the extension, and then it always bite them like they did with Dak, a couple years ago. Instead of just extending Dak the year before when you could have saved a lot of money, they waited to the last minute, and then now Dak is hitting you for that big salary cap, and now you're at a point where you have to extend them, or you're going to eat $60 million this year, right? This is the thing with other teams. Other teams don't do that. They either get to work on it or they just go make a trade. 9 times out of 10. San Francisco don't wait to the last minute to pay you. They either go make a trade or they're gonna, start getting to work on the contract. That's why I'm talking about it now. So sometime by midway next season, they're gonna have contract talks with Brock Purdy. I can promise you that. So
it's gonna be interesting to see what they do. I mean, if I'm the Niners, I would definitely think about it and see maybe how he does next year. See if he improves.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. By the end of next year, because again, like you say, he got 2 years. But I'm saying at the end of next year, do you think they're gonna, start working on his contract?
I think probably I think more than likely they'll keep him.
Okay.
I think he'll be the quarterback for the Niners.
We'll see.
But again, it's a system. It's a freaking system. I don't care what anybody says. That is a system. It's all about the system that they play.
When are we gonna start having this conversation about Deebo Samuel not really stepping up outside of playing the Cowboys in the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean Deebo's kind of like this year wasn't the same Deebo we've seen in the past. Deebo,
I know he was kind of injured.
Always been he's been in the number one. Like he's been the guy in San Francisco, and then all of a sudden this year Ayuk took over and took that number one spot, which I've always thought it was Deebo. Deebo is very injury prone. Like that man cannot stay healthy. So again, they pay him a lot of money for him to be on the field, where the majority of the time he's not on the field.
Right.
I mean, he didn't play very much this year either. Luckily, they had him during the playoffs, but he wasn't a factor. So it's like he wants to talk all this noise and be all this guy on Instagram and Twitter and all this stuff. But man, you got to perform when the lights are on, and he did not do nothing against Kansas City in the Super Bowl. Now, if you want to blame that on Purdy not seeing him and not even looking his direction, yeah, that's fine. You can go that route too as well. But we don't know what he was doing all the field as well. because obviously he wasn't getting open enough to where Purdy was giving him the ball.
Jay Cross said he made fun of us crying. He said, "Did you see all his tears after he was crying in the Super Bowl?"
Yeah.
So, this is actually better than what I thought. I'm looking at their free agents coming up. They got some decisions to make. So Randy Gregory, 31 years old, free agent. You think they go keep him or no?
Nah, I think he's gone.
Chase Young, free agent.
I think they try to keep him.
Javon Kinlaw, they keeping him or no? 26 years old.
I mean, at the age of 26, I don't know how much of an impact he's played all year. I mean, with Greenlaw being hurt, you might want to consider it because you don't know when Greenlaw's coming back.
Right. Well, it'll be like the Tony Pollard situation. He'll be back next year, but he ain't gonna be the same until later on in the season. Tashawn Gibson, free safety. Let's see who else got a name to him. Ray McLeod, wide receiver.
No, isn't he the one that he missed the fumble recovery?
Yeah, he was the punt returner, but he was.
Now I don't blame him.
Yeah, it's not his fault.
But again, what's the number one thing coaches tell you to do when it's a fumble? Jump on the ball. Do not try and pick the ball up. You jump on it, and that's what his mistake was. He tried to pick it up when he shouldn't have. He should have just jumped on the ball, and they would have gotten the ball more than likely. Right. It's not his fault that it went off of his player's leg or whatever have you, but he should have jumped on the ball instead of trying to pick it up.
Juwan Jennings, wide receiver, are they keeping him?
I mean, Jennings played very well in the Super Bowl. You might want to consider keeping him.
He's a restricted free agent, so they'll be able to work something out with him.
Yeah. I know it wasn't purely his fault, Jeff, but he should have tried to jump on that ball.
Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much it for the free agent list right now. Let's see what the Chiefs are looking like to see who they keep. Because the Chiefs. I know the big one is
Ladarius Sneed. I know he's a free agent. He wants to get paid.
Chris Jones, free agent.
Oof, you got to keep him.
Especially the way he